welcome back to Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, we're here in front of a Conjurer guild because I wanted to pick up Conjurer. So, yeah, that's what we will do now. Well met, adventurer, you've come to Stillglade Fane, home of a Conjurer's Guild. We conjurers harness the power of earth, wind and water that abound in nature, and thereby weave spells of healing and protection. Ever do we seek noble souls to initiate into our mysteries. Might you be such a soul? Come to join our guild? Yes. Then allow me to provide you with an overview of what it is to be a conjurer. Conjuring is the art of healing and purification. Its practitioners harness the power of nature that they might bring about change in the form of spells. Primitive magic such as that once wrought by individuals known as mages, meaning those with the ability to manipulate aether, has existed since the dawn of time. It was not until some 5 centuries ago that conjuring emerged from this shapeless agglomeration of spells and charms, an event which led to the founding of Gridania. In those dark days, the elementals would not suffer man's presence in the 12th Wood, forcing our forebears to make their homes beneath the earth in the great subterranean city of Gilmora. But their desire to settle in the 12th Wood continued to burn fiercely. Time and again, they sought to carry the elementals' favor. Unlike men and other creatures bound in temples of flesh, the elementals are beings of pure ether. Recognizing this, the mages of Eld reasoned that their talent for etheric manipulation might allow them to commune with these theretofore enigmatic entities. It took 5 long decades, but our forebears finally succeeded. Their reward? The elementals' permission to dwell in the 12th Wood. So it was that the nation of Gridania was born. Since that time, the elementals have taught us to live as one with nature, speaking to all Gridanians through their hearers, those mages who are able to commune with them. And for their intimacy with the elementals, the hearers would go on to attain greater mastery over the forces of nature. Thus did they conceive the art of conjuring. And that, my most attentive listener, is the brief history of conjuring. If you have a mind to walk our path, I wholeheartedly recommend you join our guild. It would be my pleasure to explain the initiation process to you. Please speak to me again if you are ready. I'm ready. Is your mind made up? Are you ready to join the Conjurer's Guild? Yes. That is well. I shall introduce you to our guildmaster, Brother Izumiyan. We met before several times. Brother Izumiyan presides over the Conjurer's Guild even as he serves the nation as a hero. You will find him in the meditation area within. Go to him and make known your desire to join the guild. Greetings, adventurer. I'm told you wish to become a conjurer of Stillglade Fane. I'm Brother Izumiyan, master of his guild. Before you are formally accepted into our ranks, I would impart to you the principles of conjuring. Pray attend me well. Conjuring is an arcane art that takes life and the living for its domain. Its primary purpose is the salving of hurts and the granting of protection. Adventurers such as yourself often stand upon the front lines of battle. Owing to this, you are like to find yourself in many situations where a capacity for healing would be advantageous. Mind you, there's more to conjuring than that. By harnessing the power of earth, wind and water, conjurers are also capable of weaving spells that wreak havoc. In terms of sheer destructive power, conjuring may pale in comparison to thaumaturgy, but its capacity to defend one against aggression more than compensates for this relative shortcoming. In mastering healing and purification, not only will you be able to mend wounds and purge afflictions, you will also be able to breathe life back into the fallen. More than simply healers, yet not true dealers of destruction, conjurers realize their full potential when they employ their power in support of others. This, my dear adventurer, is what it means to be one of us. Mayhap that was too much to grasp upon a single hearing. But why not? For the meaning of my words will become clear to you in due time. You will come to understand that conjuring is not the sole province of a conjurer. Should you wish to walk our path, I must needs ask that you solemnly vow to embrace nature, to heed the will of elementals and the 12th alike. Can you make this vow? Of course. I knew your answer ere your lips had parted, yet I'm no less pleased to hear it. By the powers vested in me, I hereby name you a member of the Conjurer's Guild. If you would be so kind as to lend me your hunting log, I shall add to it the names of such creations that would pose a suitable challenge to a conjurer. And to mark this momentous occasion, I present to you this cane. Well, it may be old and wear, but it will serve you well as you take your first steps upon the path of a conjurer. Take up your cane and present yourself to me once more. I would assign you your first task as a conjurer of Stillglade Fane. Because that's how it works. You join the guild and immediately get a task. No lessons first, right? Where's my cane? My old standard gear. I kicked all that stuff out. That took a lot longer than I wanted. I mean, I could have done it a lot quicker, but I wanted to craft the new equipment, so... The shoes, the pants, and the body piece. The part of Conjurer becomes you. Without further ado, I shall assign you your first task as a Conjurer of Stillglade Fane. Kill small fry monsters outside. Okay. As a conjurer, it's your duty to carry out the will of the forest, and by employing your powers in doing so, you will come to learn something of your art. So, cull the population of these critters. Okay. I cut here and we see each other back here in a moment when I leveled up and stuff like that. Okay. I leveled a little. Level 10. Welcome back, Serenia. The elementals have told me of your success. By placing yourself in the midst of nature and seeing it with conjurer's eyes, you have taken your first step along the path to enlightenment. Healing, protection, and distraction. Though our spells vary in function, they all derive their power from the same source. The forces embodied in all creation. By gaining a true understanding of these, a conjurer may call upon them to manipulate his environment, thereby realizing the state of being that he desires. Ah yes, yours is a familiar look, the very picture of confusion. Be not disheartened, for comprehension shall come in due time. For now you must learn to reach out to the forces embodied in each of us. Pray, hearken to my instructions. Breathe deep and open your eyes to that which cannot be seen. feel the myriad life around you and draw upon this boundless reservoir of energy. Take up your cane and use it to lend that energy form. Go forth, my young conjurer, and be at one with the world. Return to me when you have learned to draw upon the forces around you with the self-same ease you draw upon those within. Yeah, obviously I am level 5 by now. And quite a bit beyond that. It's good to see you again. After these 5 seconds. By the air of serenity which surrounds you, it is plain you have learned to draw upon the energy of creation. I am glad. It is the wellspring of all our power. Yet the energy of creation is not one thing but many, and to call upon all without first knowing each is Conjurer at its most basic. As a part of your continued education, it is my desire that you now learn about the element of earth. Make your way to Blessed Bud in the North Shroud, and there partake of Hera Nolanel's wisdom. The depth of his affinity for the elementals of rock and soil is all but unique among conjurers, and he is a gifted instructor besides. You may be certain of receiving a most enlightening lesson on the subject of Earth. Down here? Ah, there he is. Nolanel. You seek Heron Lonanel? Then seek no more, for you have found him. What can I do for you, friend? So Brother Sumiyan bid you to come to me to learn of the element of earth. That is well. The power of earth is the solid foundation of which a conjurer stands. I could happily lecture you for days on its intricate variations and properties, but I rather suspect the busy life of an adventurer would not afford the time required for such an extended discourse. Accordingly, I shall offer you an opportunity to experience the quality of earth firsthand, in combat. Now mark me well, and do exactly as I command. East of here, in the grounds of Treespeak Stables, there exists a patch of soil that bears the mark of corruption. Seek it out. When you have found the place, reach out to the focus of the earth's trauma and attempt to commune with it as all conjurers can. Resentful of your intrusion, the tainted being that feasts unseen upon the energy seeping from the wounded earth shall then appear. Using the powers of conjuring, strike it down and permit the land a chance to heal. Much of the nature of earth will be revealed to you during the struggle. I trust you will return to me a wiser woman than she who now departs. There's the corrupted soil. Simple enough. I mean, I'm 5 levels above a quest, but... Welcome back, Elserenia. The elementals whisper of your accomplishments. How did it feel to confront that embodiment of Earth, to endure its onslaught? Has the crushing power of the element shaken the very marrow of your bones? Corruption occurs when the land's wounds are prevented from healing. In vanquishing the tainted sprite, you permitted the earth's energies to flow unimpeded and to nourish the land once more. Can you not sense the strength of the earth returning? Already the land begins to heal. Thanks to your action, That field will once again bear bountiful crops. When next you have reason to call upon your art, look back upon this task and that which you accomplished. Experience once more the grinding weight of the earth's fury, and revel in the memory of life flowing anew through the land you helped restore. With such thoughts shall your understanding of nature continue to grow. I hope you were paying attention, Sylvie. See this adventurer here? Serenia came all the way from Stillglade Fane just to hear my lesson. You would do well to learn from her example. If you wish to become a conjurer worth of a name, you must make an effort to study nature. Do you attend me, young lady? Why should I bother studying nature? I can conjure already. See? You have a rare gift for healing, Sylvie. A wonderful gift. Yet there's more to being a conjurer than... But I don't want to do more. I want to heal. I'm good at healing. You can't make me do those other things. Sometimes I wonder why I even try. Sylvie joined the guild shortly before you came to us. As you yourself just experienced, she possesses a prodigious talent for healing. Indeed, despite her tender years, I know a few conjurers who are her equal in that field. Alas, nature, the very wellspring of her power, holds no interest for the child, when she should by rights be learning about all the land. She instead prefers to wander, healing people on a whim. You, in contrast, have been a most attentive student. I have told you all I know of the element of earth. You may report back to Brother Izumiyan and tell him as much. Yeah, that girl will be important for our quest, I assume. I'm back. Ah, Serenia, you have returned. But tell me, how did you fare under Nora Lanel's expert tutelage? Have you delved deep into the earth and felt its suffocating weight, its life-sustaining vigor? Such experiences will serve you well. And have you aught else to report? A fledgling conjurer named Sylvie cast healing magic upon you. How kind of her. I must confess to sharing Lanel's frustration with the girl. As you yourself have witnessed, Sylvie possesses a natural talent from the conjurer of mending and restoration. Alas, her gift appears to have blinded her to the need for study, and she outright refuses to learn about the natural world. She knows nothing of the elements of earth and wind, and is quite incapable of conjuring even the tiniest pebble or faintest breeze. I have tried upon numerous occasions to explain to her that conjurers who are ignorant of the source of their power pose a risk to themselves and others, but all to no avail. Should she continue to deny the debt she owes to nature and indulge in ever more reckless displays of power, there's every possibility that she will create a dangerous imbalance. Needless to say, I'm presently at a loss to know how such an eventuality might be prevented. A thought occurs to me. It may be that your encounter with Sylvie was ordained by the elementals. Should you chance to meet her again, I ask that you strive to impress upon her the importance of opening oneself to nature's voice. Mayhap she will listen to you. But we have discussed our wayward young friend's education enough. Let us speak instead of one of my more willing pupils, namely you. The progress you've made does you great credit. Though you are yet new to the art of conjuring, you are no stranger to nature's embrace. Consider all that you have learned. I hope you understand the true significance of these words. And well, that looks cool. I think I just take the money. Trial by wind. Greetings, Serenia. Each time we meet, the part of Conjurer befits you ever better. In your previous lesson, you learned about the element of earth. It is my desire that you next become acquainted with the wind. Travel to Full Flower Comp in the East Shroud and secret teachings of hero Wolfew. Though scant few years have passed since their coming of age, Wolfew is a conjurer of consummate skill who is able to divine the will of air elementals with uncommon clarity. I can recommend no better tutor for your lessons in the mysteries of wind. So yeah, we're becoming druids. Is this basically right? You must be Serenia. Brother Isumian sent word to expect you. It shall be my pleasure to instruct you in the patterns of gusts and gales. How to proceed now? Pray forgive my hesitation. It was but recently that I attained the title of hero, and well, you're my first student. Yes, I believe I have a suitable task for you. To the east of Sweetbloom Pier, there is a small spring giving rise to a pool. Go there and clear the air of a honeybee swarm which lately took up residence in the area. You seem uncertain. Mayhap you wonder at the connection between my request and the subject you study? I sympathize, but trust me, inexperienced though I may be, this deed will deepen your understanding of wind. Okay. I defeated the bees. Do I now know more about the wind? Yeah, I'm just at the level where they pull them quite good. Welcome back. I take it the bees are no more? Tell me, did you happen to notice many of the Valkyn's preferred flowers in the vicinity of the spring? I will ask because there are none. Strange one, is it not, that the bees should choose to congregate there? And what has caused this aberrant behavior? Still your mind and reach out with your senses. Can you feel it? The path of a wind veers from its natural course, sweeping hapless creatures along in its wake. Something is playing havoc with the air currents. Such a disturbance bespeaks corruption. Return to the spring and search for pockets of corrupted air. Should you find one, use your powers of conjuring to disperse it. How insuspicious. Are you so fragile that you can just instant kill you? Yeah. They are. Okay. Surprising. The spirit's presence is palpable. You should not face it alone. Leave the healing to me. Channel your energy into offense. Okay. Thank you, Sister Wolfie. Sludge. Okay, I focus on offense, you hear me, yeah? Ooh. Well done. The wind no longer keens in its frustration. Let us return to Full Flower. I must apologize for exposing you to such danger. The corruption was greater than I anticipated, but it is through such trials that we flourish as conjurers. Now then, Serenia, what did you learn as you struggled within the air's grasp? You will doubtless have noticed that wind does not strike with the instant crushing force of earth. Yeah, it's a dot, damage over time effect. Instead it torments one's form, dancing across every surface and leaving 1,000 tiny wounds in its wake. These are the agonies of erosion. Having experienced such pain, you are now intimately acquainted with wind's capacity for patient destruction. No land is a stranger to its power. When you stand under distant skies and feel the wind's familiar caress upon your skin, remember the lessons you have learned here this day. I suppose I should be grateful that this latest elemental disturbance manifested itself at such an opportune time. Only the gods know what I would have taught you had it not. Yet the growing frequency of such phenomena begins to concern me. Well, it's true that the calamity wrought much harm upon the 12th Wood. I suspect some other force is at work here. I bid you remain wary, Serenia. But enough of these ominous rumblings. I regret to say that your time with me is at an end. Return to Stillglade Fane and inform Brother Izumi of your newfound mastery. I won't be sure to thank him for sending me such a willing first student. Welcome back, Serenia. The elementals inform me that you have opened your ears to the voice of wind. That is well. Having made allies of 2 elements, you are well on your way along the path of Conjurer, though full comprehension of these forces will only come to you in the fullness of time. Be patient. As you seek to embrace nature more fully, so will nature hold you more closely. They make you study wind? Why bother? You don't need wind to heal things, whatever those dreary lessons tell you. Conjurer is inextricably bound with nature, Sylvie. That dreary lesson is one you should have learned by now. I assume by your presence here that you have once again abandoned your tutors. You must understand, if you persist in casting spells without the proper knowledge. I have all the knowledge I need. My mother never needed to embrace nature to heal, and the people she helped were thankful for her art. I learned Conjurer the same way she did, and become as great a conjurer. You'll see. But I didn't come here to argue with you, Brother Izumi. I wanted to tell you that I discovered how to cast Race. How? What were you thinking, girl? You know not what you do, what you risk. You are meddling with forces beyond your comprehension. Should you ever attempt to use that spell, I will have no recourse but to strip you of the name of Conjurer and banish you from our halls. Do I make myself clear? Why must you be so angry with me? It's not as if I were trying to hurt anyone. And you don't need to try to do. But that's... Sylvie, my dear child. That's precisely the point. My apologies, Serenia. I hope you do not find these constant disruptions distracting. As you have just heard, Sylvie's mother was also a conjurer. A conjurer was unable to use any spells outside of a sphere of healing. Needless to say, Sylvie seeks to emulate her in every way. It is a rare and wondrous talent to heal without relying on the energies of nature. But such power is not born of true conjuring. By all that we know of the art, it should not be possible for Sylvie to cast rays. I shudder to think what would happen if she tried. I fear my inability to set her upon the true path reflects upon my own failings as a teacher. I'm only glad that those same failings have not hindered you. Whether it be with my help or in spite of it, I believe that you will become a fine conjurer. Already you are blessed with great power, and more shall be yours should you persevere with our art. As indeed I hope you shall. Yet however much you grow, however powerful you become, remember that ours is a power borrowed, not taken. I mean, the green looks cool, but I crafted myself. Without the color, perhaps I choose a color myself. But yeah, that's it for the Conjurer so far. Now I have time to level up and yeah, stuff like that. What do we do next time? We will see. Until then, I'm Mace and don't get lost.